Hello and welcome to the Man Like Radio podcast. Now let's do some godly talk for godly walk.
Well, hello. I am Richard Boyd. We are here tonight, and my good friend Pastor Stan Ferrell is here with us, and we are continuing on another Man Light broadcast. Man of God. The man who successfully you. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful, man. Good to be with you again tonight, my brother.
I know. We're usually always doing wonderful, aren't we?
Yes, brother. I'm serious. It's exciting. Love sharing and speaking into people's lives.
I didn't tell you. Somebody said to me one time, said, do y'all have any problems?
Yeah, tell them we do. We just don't talk about them, think about them.
We just don't. Okay, so today we're talking about, let's get right into it, help. My wife is not supportive. Oh, boy. I don't know where this is going to go. You and I might have a problem after this. You agree?
Well, it won't be with my wife, so I'm good.
Okay, well, I don't know about mine. I don't know, But anyway, I do want to talk about this.
I'm close by. You can call me afterwards.
Okay, I will, man. I will. I just listen to the podcast over and over and over till I get a hold of it. Recently, Stan, about a year ago, Harvard Business School did a study, and they found out that baby boomers men were more prone to put their careers before their wives. And dealing along that line, of course, wives are saying that they were being pushed to the side. Do you think today, as we get into this, that a lot of women are being pushed? And I know some are. We know as a fact some really are. But do you think a lot of women today are being pushed to the side by men?
That's a historical problem. Generations past, that's always been the case. And it's all because of the lack of understanding of partnership. So, yes, women, a lot of women being pushed aside. So is a lot of men. So, you can argue the case either way. Neither one is right nor healthy, but it's going on.
Okay, so let's look at this one here, Stan. It says, Charisma Magazine says this, and I'm just getting these two things up before we get into the meat of everything, kind of giving a foundation. Okay. Wife, okay. Your attitude can either reinforce or hinder your husband. Yes,
made is so true, so accurate, because of the significance that a wife or a husband plays in the relationship. Because when you get into a relationship, you give trust and credibility there. And I said to a wife the other day that you need to understand the weight of your words when it comes to your husband. Mm-hmm. Because you have a relationship and a connection to his emotions, to his ego, to his health like no other woman. Because that's what marriage gives you. So people have to understand that marriage is about destiny and purpose. So that means the person that you marry has an impact on your purpose and your destiny, which means anything in between, they affect.
Wow. So definitely, getting back to what you're saying, yes, there is a definite effect on either side. So basically, let's start off with the first thing here. Is it true that some women can kill a man's success? We're not saying all, but do you believe that some women can, Stan? And you've had some experience in other areas. Do you believe that?
Yeah, let me tell you this. I'm going to say all women can kill a man's dreams. All women. Some just don't know they got the power. So yes. But again, because of the significance of the role, and depends on how she plays it and how he allows her and how they interact and engage each other. Oh, that's so true, because they're supposed to. Because listen, they're supposed to be able to kill it, because no one can push you to the top of the mountain like your woman. So that means no one can send you to the valley like your woman. So that's true, and it's not because of her per se. It's because the how God designed us, how God designed them, and when those two parts connect the way they do, there's a That's a power connection. I like to say this: all couples are power couples. The question is how you gonna handle it, and which way you gonna take it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You see.
Right.
And so it is. I mean, so that's realistic. That's not about whether how intelligent they are, how fine they are, how pretty they are. It's just a fact. No matter what you look like, it's a fact because it goes with that role. You know, and because here's the thing, Richard. In a relationship, one of the key components in a relationship is we're supposed to make each other better. Well, you can't make somebody better, help make them better, if you don't have the power to help make them better.
Right.
You see? And so, therefore, if you have the power and ability to help make them better, now, notice what I'm saying, help make them better. You don't make them better, but you help make them better, which means you can also hurt them. I have a teaching I do that's called this, are you a helpmate or a hurt me? And we do one or the other.
Well, elaborate on that again, because I like what you just said. Elaborate on that again. Help or hurt? Yeah.
Because remember the scripture says God made a help meet for Adam, which means he was also a help for her as well. See, he should have been there helping her when she was being deceived. See? Because he wasn't helping her, he hurt her. And because he didn't help her, she hurt him. What happened? Brought the whole thing down because of the role that God gave them. You see, and they failed to play their part in each other's lives, and everything fell apart. So we either a helpmeet to one another, or we are a help me to one another, or hurt me rather. So you're either helping me or you're hurting me. There ain't no in between.
So ultimately, getting back to it then, so yes, we've already got that right up the top. In some ways, Harvard Business School is right. Of course, they're not supposed to be wrong. They're Harvard. Charisma Magazine is right. And others that a woman can, just like a man can affect a woman can affect a man and affect him in success. But let's define this, Stan, because we've spoken before about success, and we encourage all the men and women who are listening to go back into the podcast. If you subscribe to iTunes, if you go to SoundCloud, if you go to manlightradio.com, you can see all the other podcasts and you can listen to it. And we spoke at one time about success, what success exactly is. And I'm not going to get into all the details of that. But what you are saying is that ultimately a woman does have the power to hold a man back, even if he has good dreams, visions, and plans.
Exactly. She can hold him back. However, notice the difference. She can hold him back, but it doesn't necessarily mean she can ultimately stop him. Because, see, the only way a woman can ultimately stop a man is a man fail to carry out his ability, his responsibility. Even though she can hold you back, but if you continue to be the man and be the kind of man you need to be, you can outlive and outdo what she's doing to take you backwards, you know, and that may bring a severance in a relationship, you know, or, you know, the person adapts, whatever. So people can hinder us, but in the end, no one has the power to truly destroy us and stop us unless we give it to them.
Right. So here's it comes to the next question then. And before we even go, we got a few minutes still before the break, but listen, what should a man do when this happens?
What it does, first of all, you got to understand that though we have a union and a marriage, that's still what makes the union a union is the individuality. Some people fail to understand that when you become married, you don't lose your individuality, which means you don't lose the things that you can do by yourself. You know, you just gain somebody to help you do it at a greater level. The scripture says this, when it says the principle about one chase 1,000, 2 10,000, which means, you know, when you have a partnership with somebody, then things multiply. So you can accomplish things by yourself, but then when you partner with somebody, what you want to be with somebody like-minded, things get multiplied. They either multiply for the better or multiply for the worse. But it don't take away what you have as an individual, because you got to understand something. It's not the marriage or the other person in the marriage with you that gave you what you have. What they do is they accentuate what you have, they assist in what you have, and they help activate and help you develop what you have, but they don't give it to you. Right. So if they don't give it to you, they can't take it away.
Wow, that's...
So what you do is you got to still function from within you. Though your marriage may not right now have what it needs to move forward, but you still have what God gave you as an individual, though you may be in a bad marriage. So life is not really over. It's going to be a little bit bumpy and real hard, but you can still move it forward. And sometimes I've seen that to be the case, and then the other person get on track, get in line, because the other person continue to move forward even without them, but they don't leave them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's because a lot of times people think leaving the person is the solution. Leaving is not necessarily the solution always.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. It's not always the solution, and a lot of times it can be worked out.
I appreciate you 100% instead of 75%. I appreciate that.
Okay, so basically, would you say sometimes too in the relationship, Stan, and I found this out even in ministering and talking to others, would you say also sometimes that some women just don't have that level of trust because there have been some incidents and situations that have happened that they don't really, they're afraid to allow this man to release because maybe he failed before, even though failure should not be the only thing to stop them? Right. Would you say?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, they do, have trouble. But here's the thing I learned. A lot of times people say, I don't have trust in him, so that's why I can't, whatever. Well, if you don't have trust in your spouse, yes, it says something about probably, what he's done or what he hasn't done, but it also says something about you that has nothing to do with him. Mm-hmm. Because, you see, because when a woman says, I don't trust him, I don't have confidence in him that he can do this or whatever, well, that really means that what he's done has accentuated and brought to the surface the distrust you already had. Mm. Which, you see, it just playing itself out in relation to him, because think about it. If you're a strong person, you're strong on your own. You're not strong because of another person. If you become weak, it's because you were weak. It took another person to bring that to the surface.
Right.
So, which means this, is that to say that you lost all trust in me as your husband, yet you married to me, that says two things. Number one, it says about the possibility of the things that transpire between us, but it also says something about you, what you lack as an individual, because, your decision regarding me really reflects on who you are as well. So not just what I do, what I've done, because like love, trust, it ain't just performance-based. Love ain't performance-based. Trust is not performance-based. Because we all going to fall short on our performance at times. So you can't build trust solely based upon performance, though performance does play a role, don't get me wrong. And but it should affect it, but to say you don't have any trust, a lot of time I found out, man, they were just looking for a reason not to trust you in the first place.
Right. Right.
But then, that's just a general answer, because every situation is different. So, you got to have the details of the situation to really answer that question for someone specifically.
Right. I understand what you're saying on that. Well, Proverbs 12:4 says this: a wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like a decay in his bones. Now, we're not saying, like you said a while ago, and I love the way you brought it up, we're not saying that every woman is a disgraceful wife. Because there's always two sides to every story. And obviously, if a lot of men are listening tonight, they have their side. My grandmother used to say this when I was in Jamaica for a few years. She said, there's three sides to every story. There's my side, your side, and the truth.
Yeah.
But we do know that it can be at times, and I love the way you actually threw it out when it came to that. So let's talk about, Stan, how can a man, let's talk about one way a man can overcome this.
Yeah, first of all, he got to understand that his manhood depends upon not his woman, but himself. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And because we, it's great to have a partnership. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But that don't abdicate of us of our responsibility that God has given us. God has assigned every man, to accomplish certain things, and He gives us the privilege. Now, watch this. He gives us the privilege to have a partner to get it done.
Yes.
But purpose is given to us on an individual basis, not based upon another person. Mm-hmm. So you are responsible to fulfill purpose, and you can fulfill purpose regardless of how another person responds to you or your relationship. He got to grab that. He got to hold on. He got to go back and get that, because again, when a man feel like he can't go on without his woman, that means he lost his individuality, and that's one of the worst things you can do. Because partnership is not the absence of individuality. Partnership is the merging of individuality. See? Which means we ought to be interdependent upon each other, not dependent upon each other, but interdependent on each other.
Right.
You know, so I don't depend on my wife, but I'm interdependent upon her.
Right.
Because she can, you know, she can leave by way of death. I still got to go on. I still have to produce.
That's good. That's true. I mean, you're 100% right in that. Yes, that's true.
So did you not know that divorce means death? So divorce is the same thing as death. Right.
Yeah. Right.
And sometimes people divorce, they still live together, but they divorce. You know.
Right. And to be very honest, like I said, you know, we've gone through this again. Again, they can go back to themanlikeradio.com. If they're not going through there, and you can go down, scroll on down and get to all the podcasts. We even talked about that a while back, a few months back, on the death of divorce, or the dangers and so forth and so on, and gave your own experience and so on. So I think that's right on. So basically what we're saying is that there needs to be a connection then for a man and woman to come together. And Stan, let me ask you this, and this is a question I can throw out. Who do you think, if you were to judge, and I know you've done this before, even in pastoring, you've got a husband and wife that both have a career, but one is soaring more than the other. How do you deal with that? Let's just say, for example, the woman is soaring, and the man is he's really trying, and I know you've dealt with it. How do you deal with that? If you sat down and talked with them? Because some men will some men will call foul and say, "Well, I'm the man, I'm leading." Yeah.
See, that has nothing. See, that first of all, that's a misappropriation of your manhood. It has nothing to do with your manhood at all. You know, and so what I do, and I've had cases like that. What I have to do is sit down and give them perspective. You got to understand something, that this is a partnership, and in the partnership, you got weakness and strength, and those weaknesses and strength can go any kind of way, because now you're about to find out, do y'all have oneness in this relationship, or is this relationship is for your needs and for that other person's needs? Or do y'all really have a partnership here? Because when you got a true covenant partnership, success, regardless of where it comes from in the union, belongs to both. It's not about who produces it. Because, see, your money is my money. So whether I produce it, it's still our money.
Right.
So you got to get people to really understand what partnership is. And this is why people have a hard time with that, because people are married, but they're not functioning as marriage. See, they don't have the spirit of marriage. They don't have the mindset and perspective of marriage. They got that, well, marriage is for the satisfaction of their needs psychologically and physically. But then when things begin to happen in terms of success, it doesn't matter where it comes from. And you got to communicate that one to another. So that woman's got to communicate that man that, listen, baby, it's about our success. Not yours or mine, but ours. So if I produce more than you in an area, that's to our credit. Not just to my credit. You see? And you got to communicate, because you're going to have that, a lot of cases where, you know, because some people are just better at certain things, because they're going to do each other. Sometimes the woman is just better at making money than the man. That's not a question of his manhood. That's just a question of his skills. Skills can be learned.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so you got to have perspective. So what I do, I sit down and ask them, listen, is this a competition or is this a partnership?
Okay. Yes. Right.
And bring that mind in perspective, and then they stop all that foolishness about who got more money, who make more money. It don't make no difference. Man, listen, my wife makes more money than me. Boy, I'd be celebrating. I promote her myself.
Well, I like what Proverbs 19:14 says, Stan. It says, houses and wealth are inherited from parents, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Yeah. So if she's prudent, there is no doubt, Stan, that it's a blessing to the man, right?
Exactly. So where's the beef at, man? That's your favor. I want to see my wife make my money. That's my favor.
Right. Well, we got to go for a break, as usual. We're always having a good time, and we got to go for a break. And when we do that, we're going to be back, and you're listening to the Man Like Radio. I'm Richard Boyd. On the phone with me is my co-host, Stan Ferrell, and it's his time of the week, and we're talking about help. My wife is not supportive, and if you just join in, hey, stay on. We're just going to go for a break. We will be right back. I want to remind you also that you can subscribe to us. Please do. At the bottom right there, you can subscribe to us. If you're watching us through Manlight Radio at manlightradio.com, you can subscribe to us by going to our email. It's there at the bottom. Those who are listening later on the podcast, manlightradio@gmail.com. Let's go right into the break. Hi, Richard Boyd, and welcome once again, and thank you for watching and listening to the Man Like Radio. We want to thank every one of you out there. Male, of course, is geared to men, but also there are other women and young people who do watch us. And we want to say thank you once again for taking your time out. Do you know you can carry us with you everywhere? That's right, right on your phone or on your tablet or in your computer. Just go to iTunes, that's right, iTunes podcast, and there you can look up Man Like. Once you type Man Like in one word, you'll see us there and subscribe to us. And every time a program comes on, within the next so many hours, it'll download automatically into your phone. Or you can go to soundcloud.com, and there you can download, I should say, the SoundCloud app. And once you download that, you can look for Man Like Radio, and you'll have a continual running thing of our programs. If you're watching to social media, well, you know exactly where to follow us. But once again, thank you. And we want to tell you this so you can carry us with you all the way, and every place you want to go. So once again, go to iTunes podcast and look for Man Like Radio or Man Like. Secondly, go to SoundCloud, and on soundcloud.com, you can download the app, and you can also get Man Like Radio. Well, let's get right back into the show, because I know that we are having a good time. And again, we do this so we can enjoy and spread the good news that God has for men to improve ourselves in these last days. Well, I'm Richard Boyd, and we are back again. Of course, my co-host Stan Ferrell. We're talking about help. My wife is not supportive. Not a good title there. But we've been talking about that, and we want to continue on here, because what happens when a man has a dream or a vision or wants to succeed? And by the way, Stan, we can also tell him to success is in different realms with different people depending on who they are. We do agree. We can tell him that there is different levels and areas. You know, I heard a guy, and I think you know this, say this, that you know, a guy cleaning the floor can be success. We don't look at it today in society, but that can be success.
No doubt.
Right.
Because what he does is significant to society, so no doubt.
Right. So let's continue here now. Let's answer some true or false questions. Because there are men out there, and you've dealt with it. Want to encourage the men, they can go back and get the podcast on iTunes, as we said a while ago in the break, and also on SoundCloud.com, or go to go to Man Like Radio at manlightradio.com, or you can go to lovegospelnetwork.com. But go to manlightradio.com, and you'll be able to get the beginning if you just came and writing down the podcast. But let's talk about those as we're continuing on this. True or false, Stan? Let's go through some true or false questions, and you can elaborate on them. And, okay, so first of all, if she holds me back, then it's time to leave her.
False.
Okay.
Absolutely false.
Okay.
No, see, when that happens, that's an indication of the work that needs to be done in the relationship. That's not an out. See, people don't understand that when you run across a problem in a relationship, that's your cue to adapt and adjust and go back and find out that's the things you probably haven't cultivated or why that's transpired. So false.
That's real good.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is basically that's just a whole. That's totally off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People always want to. People think when you have a problem that's a cue to leave. No. When you have a problem, that's the time to create. That's the time to adjust. You know, the problems are like winter. Winter don't mean life is over. Winter means life is about to readjust itself.
Right.
So
right.
That's what you got to do.
Right. And I agree with you 100% on that. I really, really do. Okay, let's pick up this next one here. Wife who does not support me is angry. Would you agree she's angry at...
I don't know what...
So, true or false? A wife who does not support is an angry woman.
I don't know the situation, so I can't say it could be.
Well, just on across the board, all things being equal, would you say that a woman doesn't support, true or false, is angry, or there needs to?
No, I would say false.
Right, because there's some things we need to check into and see why the situation is where it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, because every situation is different, and there might be, like you said earlier, there might be a trust issue. There might be a issue of, you know, having deliberately, and sometimes, you know, because I do believe this, Stan, and you agree, everybody fails in some area of our life.
Oh, no doubt.
Right, but you know, but sometimes some people deliberately fail.
Yeah.
It's like they just don't want to go any further, and they deliberately fail. Do you find that?
Oh yeah, I found that too. Well, because some people just hate to have somebody else to enjoy success, and that's so they'll fail just so the other person can't have nothing to enjoy. As ridiculous as that sounds, there are people that are just that stupid. And, you know, it's called what it is. But to tell the brother, no, that don't mean you're angry. That means you need to investigate. That's what that means.
Right.
You need support. You need to find out why.
Okay.
That's go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. True or false? She does not trust me. Is that true or false? Because she doesn't bat me, she doesn't trust me.
That's false too. That ain't.
You're just going down. You're just going down the whole thing. You're false.
In general, that's false. I mean, because you can't say that.
Right.
You gotta do your diagnosis to find out. See, people like these answers like that because they don't want to do the work.
Okay, I hear that. So next one then, true or false? All women are selfish.
False. All people are selfish.
Okay. Okay, so you brought it around. All people are selfish. That's right.
All people are selfish. We all are selfish. We got to deal with it every day. We got to get over it. Every day, we all are. It's just a matter of at what level we stuck in it. Right.
And I agree on that 100%. I agree on that 100%. Okay, here's another one. She wants to control me.
Okay, was that question or what?
That's true or false? She wants to control me.
That's very possible.
You're not giving any. You're not giving any thumbs up in this one, man. You just, you know, last week, Stan. Last week when I had Jeff Daniels on. Last week when I have Jeff Daniels on, he was half and half. You're just coming down the list, man. Go. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you know what? But I think you know, there's a measure of, you know, one more to control, but I think it's on both sides, though. You know, it's on both sides. So, you know, you crying foul, but you can't cry foul. Pot can't call the kettle black. So I mean.
That is so true. That is true. Oh, true. Okay, the last one here. This is a soccer, and let's see which way you go on this. True or false? She is jealous.
She is jealous.
Is that true or false? The reason why she's hindering me because she's jealous.
Possible, but I say false.
Right. Now, you Stan, you will agree there are some jealousies that are valid.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. God gets jealous. So jealous is not a bad thing. It's just how we apply it and how appropriate. Jealous is not a bad thing. We use it always in a negative way, so we make it negative. But jealous is not a negative thing because, you know, you should be jealous about certain things regards to your mate. I mean, if not, something wrong. So you know, it shouldn't be about success.
Right. Well, here's a statement. Here's a statement that came in on the email. I guess when I put the question up, it came in, and it said, "I was told that if I cherish her, open up to her, and pray with her, she will bat me." Your thoughts?
You stand a better chance of her backing you. I agree.
Well, I guess you just answered that one without even reservations there. And that's true because as we see here, I mean, he's saying here that if I cherish her, that's obvious. Every woman, unless the woman just needs really good help, if you cherish her, she's going and pray with her and you're open to her, she is going to back it. I would agree on that, right?
Yes, she is.
Right.
Yes.
And if there's a problem that she doesn't stand, then would you say maybe it's a deeper rooted problem than before? Or that maybe needs to be checked into?
What's that?
I said, if there's a problem that a man does say, okay, I pray with her, I cherish her, but for some reason she's still not backing me, would be some investigation to see as to why?
Exactly, and that can have absolutely nothing to do with the man, because we have to understand that we all bring stuff to a relationship, and a lot of times it don't show up until later on. It has nothing to do with you, but it affects you and affects your union, and you got to deal with that. You know, because people get molested in all kind of ways, not just sexually.
Right.
They get molested in terms of all kind of things, financially, success, and all kind of stuff. And molestation causes your mind to shut down, and you know, so yeah, got to investigate.
Yes. Okay. So that's important to understand that. So I pick up on this, and I want to pop into this last question here that just popped. This popped in, and and it says, and I really want to pick up on this. It says, does we, and I guess both of them, being married before cause this form of hindrance to my success in my marriage, my marriage now?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because what you're saying is what you have going on within you and what they have going on within themselves is not significant enough and not great enough. What experiences you had before has no bearing on your future success unless you allow them. Simple as that. An experience is just that, an experience and an event. And you got to let it be that, you know. And if you didn't learn from it, then it will. But it's not the experience that's hindering you. It's your ignorance that you got, or that you didn't get from the information rather that you didn't get from the experience. So it's your ignorance, not the experience. It's your ignorance, not the experience. Wow.
That's
yeah.
That's good. That's good. That seems.
See, I love this. Let me say this. I love this. The scripture says, "Be it unto you according to your faith." Never your experience, always your faith. See, your faith will always cause you to outlive your experience.
Wow.
And get you out of your experiences. So, and I'm a living witness of that.
Right. Yeah, you've been down that road before, and you know exactly. And I do agree, you know exactly in that era, and you know, wow, that's so true, Stan, in our lives and our hearts, isn't it? It's so true. Yeah. That when we see that. So let's begin to sum this up now, because we're coming to an end. We do know that a wife can hold back, a woman in general can't, vice versa, can hold back a man. But we have to also do, again, and we said it before, we have to also break down and understand what true success is. Maybe sometimes, and you will agree to this stance, maybe sometimes she's fearful because maybe the man has failed before, or he's tried the same thing over and over, and it's not working, and he seems to be determined to want to do that, and so he can use her as a scapegoat. And blame shift and say, well, it's because of you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we do agree women can hold back men, but what we are saying, and I like what you said before, you said earlier, there has to be investigation, as I call this, on a man's part to see why this is happening. Because there might be some validity to her standing the way she is, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Let me say that, you know, one of the things that we have to stop doing, men and women, but we're talking about women, is this. When your man fails, you got to stop making failure a person and not an event. Failure is just an event. It's not a person. So in other words, when your man fails, don't make it personal. Let it stay an event. Because as soon as you make it personal, then you label him a failure. Failure is not a person. It's an experience. It's an event. And let it be that and that alone. That way, you can stay intact with the person, even if they failing. I know that's, I've seen that happen. I'm serious. It's all about perspective. Because he may be failing in everything he's done, but if you keep separating his failure from him, you'll keep him encouraged, and at some point, you'll hit the jackpot. Because you never made failure a person.
Right.
Make sense?
That's awesome. That's awesome. So actually, the reality is not in the failure, as much as the reality is you understanding who you are in Christ, what God has called you to do, and what true success is to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
As we said earlier, even
because, you know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because really failure is a part of the journey of success. Failures are nothing but building blocks for success. And what makes them building block is you learning from them. See? Because that's what makes it just an experience and an event. You know, and so but people got to be taught that, though, you know.
Right.
And that you're going to experience failure as you go to success. You're going to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's all in how you handle it.
Right. Well, you got any closing words? We've got to put this one in the books, as we always do. Do you have any closing words to any guy out there who might be saying, I want to say, first of all, a shout out to all the men out there who have been listening and watching. And I want to make a quick announcement. I got to get down here and get this here. I want to remind them real quickly, guys, we're giving away a free set this month of Status headphones. Now, we're not advertising them. We have not been called by the company to do this, but we are just a real good pair of Status headphones. They're not Bluetooth, by the way, but we're giving them away to every man who gets the email in, and the email is at the bottom. So all you guys out there, free, and right at the bottom there you'll see the email. Let me point properly here, and you can subscribe to us by going to manlikeradio@gmail.com, manlikeradio@gmail.com. And thank you for all the guys who are getting in the emails, and we will actually have a drawing. No, we're not gambling, but we'll have a pulling on this. But Stan, you know, anything more just a few seconds more as we have here to say you might want to throw back on guys who might be, because, you know, I really love the way that you deal with it, because you've been through it. A guy might be dealing with a stubborn wife. He might tell you, my wife is stubborn.
Yeah. You know, I say to brother, no, irregardless of what experience you're having, remember this is the key. The key is what you do with and about what you have and who you are. Mm-hmm. You know, thank God for other people, whether it be wife, children, mother, brother, sister. The key is how you handle who you are. That's the key to you surviving and living beyond any experience that you've been through or you may be going through right now.
Wow. Awesome. 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 Well, this is another A Man Like Radio in the books, and I want to thank my co-host Stan Ferrell for coming out again. And,
thank you, my brother.
We always look forward to this. We always look for. Where you head to next? Because I know you're heading out to minister, so maybe somebody might be watching, might be in your neck of the woods, as they say.
Well, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods next, San Antonio.
You're back in San Antonio, Texas. All right. Well, and that's when? What date?
Well, August of 2028, whatever that August date is. And
well, go to Stan's website. You'll see it at the bottom right there. Go to right there. You can get all the information there. You see right underneath his name. Go there, and all the info is there for those who are here. I want to say thank you to all the men out there. Stan, thanks a lot, brother. Thanks a lot, man of God, good friend.
Thank you, man.
We'll be back again next time on the program. So all you guys, write us, subscribe to us. All the information is at manlikeradio@manlikeradio.com, or get your name in for the headphones at manlikeradio@gmail.com. God bless. Thank you once again for joining us on this Manlike podcast. Please take time and email us at manlikeradio@gmail.com. Once again, that's manlikeradio@gmail.com. Manlike Podcast is a production of R.N. Boyd Productions and Love Gospel Network. Please seek a qualified professional in the area you need immediate help.